You taking care of the puppy?
Don't fuck anything up.
And we're probably gonna.
We'll try not to.
We gotta learn from our mistakes. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna start it.
Okay.
We're just gonna go for it.
We're just
gonna fucking wing it.
Just jump right in.
All right, we're just gonna jump right in. So, everyone, welcome to Mindset and Muscles with Amanda. I am your host, Amanda Ferlisi. Welcome. I have a special guest on, Paula Feris. Welcome, Paula. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
So I have a lot of questions for you. I got a lot of questions to ask you, a lot from the Instagrams.
Okay.
So I just want to get into it. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what brought you to where you are in life right now? I know that's like a really broad question, but like...
She said, let me start with like the really deep stuff. Okay, all right.
I think it's part of my sign, right?
Yeah. All right, so I'm Paula Feris. I am an artist. I am a really hard worker. I am someone who tries new things because they look really fun and gets discouraged when I'm not a perfect, performer at it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I am here in this very moment because we met working together as trainers at BSC, and I don't know, you've always been super inspirational, super badass, and
All right.
luckily I got to be here, I guess.
Well, I'm very proud of you. So I want to start with why I asked you to be on the podcast to begin with.
Okay.
So Paula and I met at Boston Sports Clubs, at the end of mid 2019?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like right around November.
Right, and I was a trainer, and then I was like, oh wow, there's gonna be another female trainer. Here we go. All right, let's go. And you and I just like clicked. You're more mellow, I'm more like all the time, which is fine because I think opposites attract.
That's crazy. Anyone who hears this is gonna be like, Paula's mellow.
Well, you came in very mellow, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
she's cool. She's a good like I've talked a lot about like girls being bullies and just being like mean, and like that's not you at all. Like we just vibed. So I was like, all right, great. Then we got into music. We liked the same music. We just bonded right off the jump, and I thought that was like really special because for the most part, I just think girls are can be terrible, and we just weren't about that. We clicked.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of girls are really competitive with each other, and I think it's the way we're raised. We're raised to be like the prettiest, brightest one in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not really taught that like sisterhood thing. Like unless you grew up with a bunch of sisters, and even when you do,
Mm-hmm.
there's still that like weird little rivalry. But I don't know. I personally feel like there's enough room for plenty of really beautiful, badass women in the world, and
It's fucking right.
there's so many like shitty things in life trying to bring us all down. Why
Mm-hmm.
not have so many, like not so many friends, but why not have so many comrades and as many good people as you can?
Exactly. I mean, I feel that. That's why I was like, you know what? And then you started going with training and all of that. And then obviously you weren't a trainer very long at BSC, nor was I, because all of a sudden the world shut down.
Literally.
And here we are.
It was like right when I started getting like my bearings.
You're just getting the moment. Because I saw it. I was watching you go. We worked out here and there, and just like I saw all like the things coming about for you, because like I was once in that position too, and I was like, oh shit, like this is happening.
Literally.
And the world shut down. You and I still like stayed in touch, and then I was like, I saw what you were doing on Instagram. I was like, look, I'm a fan of this. So tell me a little bit about. So I don't want to butcher your name. The name of your business.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. But tell us about that.
So Aporia Art and Apparel is a small art business I started when the world collapsed. Honestly, out of a necessity to do something. Like before it was the gym, it was going to the gym all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was watching how I ate, and it was this, not obsessive, but like it was this thing that like I was good at and I knew how to do it, so I'm just gonna devote myself to it. I'm a very like obsessive person with my interests. And then when we couldn't go to the gym and like the home workouts just were not doing the same thing for me that the gym did.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like everybody took a dip with their diets and
Hey,
in quarantine. I was so bad.
Listen,
I was so bad.
We stumble, we fall, we get right the back fuck up, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
And I started painting just for the fuck of it, pardon my French if I'm not allowed to swear in here.
Oh, you can swear all you
okay,
want,
cool.
because I swear way too much, so I'm gonna cut it down a little bit, because then I'll encourage it. But yes, you say whatever you want.
I swear, I just started for the fun of it, and eventually I started seeing that, you know, like, I've only been doing this 2 weeks, and I'm pretty damn good at it. And I started doing the jackets because I saw one artist on Instagram. His name is Black Picasso, and he does really cool stuff, but he puts his work on denim jackets, and I love the idea of moving art. I love the idea of, like, think about when you have, like, your favorite top on and somebody gives you a compliment on that top. You're like, oh my god, thank you, I actually love this shirt so much because I got it here or whatever. And there's always some convoluted backstory of like your favorite shirt and your favorite pair of pants. And my art to, you know, travel and be one of those conversation pieces, I feel like that's the best way to do it. And I don't know, I think everything happens for a reason. And even though, you know, I found myself back, you know, going back to the gym and, you know, watching, you know, what I eat and trying not to eat so many chips. I love chips. You know, it's cool having two personas, sort of. Like, there's, like, the fitness portion of me that still really enjoys, like, kicking ass and, like, lifting heavy and, like, being that strong girl. But then I go in my studio with my little paintbrushes and I'm like, oh, so delicate, like, that, like, yin and yang, the femininity with the masculinity thing.
So tell me a little bit more about that. So I know you have your own business with art, and so describe that a little bit more so everyone knows, because, like, I see it through, you know, social media. I see that you're painting beautiful paintings, by the way. I'll link her Instagram, and apparel. I feel like I saw people, I think, like, Chanel or something does, like, jackets like that, similar. I don't know, but they're nothing on you. So explain, like, how that whole thing transpired. So, like, you were painting, and then you saw that you wanted to do it on jackets.
Yeah, so I started one for myself. To be completely honest, I was really depressed because I was coming out of a relationship, and I was just doing things that way I wasn't, you know, falling into bad habits and being depressed. And the jacket, like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so the jacket was all Star Wars stuff, and I started wearing it out, and I got a bunch of compliments on it, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just start making jackets for people? And I started making jackets for people, and, you know, throughout coronavirus, I was unemployed because there wasn't really anywhere to work at the time. So it was, like, exciting to think about, you know what, I've got all this extra time, and my rent is covered, thankfully, you know, with unemployment. Why not just try it? Why not see if people...
Wait, why not just take a risk?
Literally, why not just jump and see if people pick up what I'm putting down? And thankfully, like, the first thing I did was, like, all right, let me see if people even want my work. So I opened up commissions, and I got, like, a good response. I got, like, at least, like, 12 people, like, on that first try.
How'd that make you feel?
So good. I was like, oh my God.
I just got goosebumps for you, because, like, I know the struggle of, like you're starting at nothing.
Yeah, it's like, it's that little monster inside of you that's like, well, who's really gonna want your stuff? And then, like, you think about it, and that's the thing, like, everybody's got that little nagging voice, but I'm like, you know what? I've seen people put circles and triangles on apparel, and it sells, and it's the most simple things, and here I am, you know, most of the time I'm, like, imitating well-known characters and whatnot, but, like, here I am making art 1 year into it. Why wouldn't people want to be a part of that? And my art's different than everyone else's. And, you know, it's not about how many other people are doing what you're doing, or how many people are better than you. It's about what sets you aside from other people. And I think, for me, I think it's all the energy I put into my pieces. Like, I don't want things going out that aren't great. And I'm not proud to say that they're mine. So after a while of, like, getting such good feedback, I was like, you know what, I think I just need to do this. I think I need to jump, because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And I did, and I've gotten such tremendous support from people that matter.
Well, I'm a huge fan, because I literally was watching this grow, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah. That's that AF.
That AFE, that Amanda Ferlisi energy. Oh my God, you guys don't even know what that's about.
So,
but you do, like, in a sense you do. If you follow Amanda and you see her consistency and her dedication and how just hard work itself, like, you can't fake that. If you put hard work into something, people notice that. And that's AFE being badass and just putting the work in.
You gotta put literally whatever you put in is what you get out.
Exactly.
So you put in good energy, you put in all the work, everything, you get that. Like, I'm a firm believer. Like, I would like, just to let you all know, like, disclaimer, I don't know if I have to say disclaimer, but like, it took us an hour and a half to set this up.
Oh my
God. It just was so mellow, and I'm over here like, can we just get this done? Maurizio, thank you. I love you so much.
Literally, Maurizio's the MVP. He was like, can you just let me do what I have to do?
And I was over here like, oh my God, this is never going to happen. This is my first podcast inviting someone over here. So I hope you all enjoy this, by the way. But yeah, I love your story because it's similar to mine. And then a lot of people, like this pandemic, it affected a lot of people negatively, right? No matter who you are, you were affected by it.
Yeah.
But I have seen such a positive, like, uprising of people just being hustlers of their own passions. And that's literally when I saw I was like, because you always were so artsy. I've always wanted to be cool and artsy. I'm not that. And I understand it. I'm just not that person, and you are. That's why I also like I like you, because you do, like, you're just artsy. You just like, I don't know.
No,
and that's okay.
But that's the thing, like, back to the camaraderie of women. Like, when I first went to BSC, I remember, like, the first thought, I was like, oh my God, that girl is so badass. Like, look at her, she's so strong, and like, she's so pretty, and she's just like so confident. You could tell how she walks. And I asked Chris, I was like, oh my God, like, that girl looks so like scary, like she's not gonna like me. And Chris was like, no, she's mad cool, you should just talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I did, and you were so cool, and you were not about letting me talk down on myself.
Never.
The second it would come out of my mouth, you'd be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be, okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, like, you've been so, and the consistency, I can't stress enough, like, that's the hardest part of seeing results with anything in your life, the consistency of it. And God knows it's hard to get up and get yourself to the gym when you're having a really, really bad day, and you feel so weak, and you feel so, like, defeated. But like, you genuinely, the times that you've seen my story that I'm at the gym at 6 a.m. with my little book, that's because of you. I swear to God, because I see your posts every day, and I'm like, you know what, I've been slacking so hard, I need to get myself to the gym. This is not AFE right now. This is not AFE.
I love that. Thank you for actually bringing that up, because I like to post that I'm working out. Like, actually, one of my clients yesterday was like, how are your workouts going? I'm like, great. Why? She's like, you don't post them. I'm like, because I have a 38 to a 45 minute window that I can lift, and I like neglect posting that because I know, like you just said, like, that helped you, and like, I don't do it to be like, oh, look at me, like, no, like, like, great, like, I worked out, like, I feel good, I'm like feeling myself, but I know that energy feeds, like, it like it can like it's spread,
a catalyst,
literally. Oh, I see what you did there. Mm-hmm. But like, I appreciate that so much. So I'm just gonna keep sharing that.
Even the consistency with the posting, like, God, no, that's definitely been the hardest part of this whole.
Can we talk about this?
Yes.
Let's talk. So
social media.
Social media is not fucking easy. So
it's not easy whatsoever.
No.
Because you need to work with the algorithm. You need to work on being authentic. You need to work on talking to your followers. You need to work on creating a new following. You need to make sure that everyone's engaged. You need to be posting on your story at least X amount of times a day in order for the algorithm to pick you up. And on top of that, content making is not easy, people.
Let's just.
Oh my God.
We could do just a whole podcast on this, because I swear to God. Like,
and I used to love social media. I used to be the biggest, like, oh my God, look at me on the gym.
Oh yeah, like a selfie, like, easy.
Always. And then when it turned into, like, when it started becoming a little bit more strategic, and I hate using that word because it's not like,
because it doesn't seem like it's organic, but it is. Because you're posting a picture of yourself. I feel like my hair's in my eye. I can't do it. You're posting I'm just turning the heat up. I can't deal right now for freezing. You're posting a picture of yourself. So like, let's take it back. So we both started Instagram. I started Instagram because my roommate at college was like, you need to get on this. I was like, I don't want people to know.
I started on Instagram because I got a dog and I wanted to put pictures.
Yeah, it's that, like, how innocent. Like, I think my first picture, I don't even want to scroll back to 17,000 posts, but I think it's shoes or like.
I scroll back and sometimes I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
What was I doing?
Right. It would take me an hour to scroll back. But like, that came so natural, and like, we weren't focused on like.
It was a game.
It's a fucking game now.
It was a game.
Oh.
And now it's more of like a chess game. Like, back then it was like Candyland. You know what I mean? Like it was just you were just doing it, and your friend saw your funny picture, and whatever. But now,
it's
especially
so
when you
hard. When you want to put yourself out there,
when you want to brand yourself, it becomes a tool. And the thing that I'm trying to find balance with, and I think that's really important. I follow this artist. Her name's Loesch. I don't want to mess it up, but she's one of the people. You know when you get like an app, and it gives you like stock photos to start with. So when you get Procreate, which is a program for digital art, one of the stock photos is her art because she's got this very luminescent style to her, and she put up these tips on how she grew her brand and how she balances out the business portion of it. And she talks about like remaining authentic.
Yes.
And like you can work with an algorithm and remain authentic, because like everybody that knows you in real life, if you're, I don't want to say this wrong because I don't want people to say
however you want to say, because anyone that listens to this loves us both, and if they don't want to listen to it, I'll tell you right now, you can shut me off. It's completely fine. We won't care.
All right, if you're triggered easily, don't answer. All right, people who are on their phone all the time, like all the time, and I don't
miss a beat,
and I'm guilty of it too sometimes, like being like this all the time, and then they don't see you posting as much. That's inauthentic to them, because if you're always on your phone, wouldn't you be posting all the time, and vice versa? I know I answer you all the time, but I don't answer anyone. I hate being on my phone. I like social media for the connection aspect of it, but I think that we lose so much of the things in front of us being in front of phones.
Agreed.
So like people that don't see me posting a lot, I don't think it's inauthentic, because people know that I don't answer my phone a lot, that I'm not on my phone a lot. But the posting, you know, I think the positive part of it, the more that I've been posting, I've desensitized myself to that serotonin that I used to get from the likes, because the likes don't matter so much anymore to me. The content matters to me. It's like a resume. When people come onto my page, I want them to see my work and see what I put out there, and kind of it represent me. And if one of my posts gets 23 likes, it doesn't break my heart anymore. And it used to, like when it was mostly about aesthetic.
I love how you're bringing this up, actually. So I think you just nailed it. Like, your Instagram is your resume. I love this. So just by the way, when you guys look at our Instagram, those photos are fucking fire.
Oh, shout out EB Photos. Eric Torres, the best photographer that I have ever worked with.
Like, fire, guys. So she did one with like is it how do you say lightsaber? Lightsaber, there we go. I knew I was gonna
we did
flip
this
that
like
around.
Darth Vader concept.
Wild. And then on the cover of
You're gonna love what we're doing for Revenge of the 5th. So 5th of May, look for some posted photos. They're gonna be super intense.
You guys gonna look. But like, I like how you just said it's your resume. So like, I go to I know you. So like, I'm not judging you, like, you know what I mean? But I look and I'm like, wow, this is really great. Like, wow, this like photo's really great. But like, I think the same way, because when I look at my Instagram, I'm like, all right, what are we posting here? And like, I have to be on all the time. Holy moly.
But like, even the times you're not, like, I've seen you get a little personal in your story, and you talk about how it's not easy. Like, those moments are just as authentic to people. Like, think about, ready, I'm going to explain something to you, and I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but I know it's happened to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I know.
Oh shit, here we go.
You've been doing so good all week. You wake up, you get to the gym, you're tired, you bullshit your workout, you get home, you look in your pantry, and you pig out, and you feel like shit. But like, think about that whole thing, unpack that. The whole week you did good, and you still went to the gym even though you didn't feel like it, and then you pig out, and then you like beat yourself up for it.
What am I beating myself up for? Pigging out?
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I've worked a lot on myself over the years. I mean, obviously, if you know me, you know that I struggled with eating disorders and like binging, purging, not eating. Pretty much anything you could do to your physical appearance to change it, I have done. I don't remember the last time I pigged out to a point of like feeling so terrible. Like I've had times
like pigging out doesn't mean like purging. Like you know what I mean? Like you break your diet or you break your own rules and like you beat yourself up for it and you get really like discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ingrained in our minds that we always have to be on, that we
all the fucking time.
Even when we're alone and not posting it, the fact that we made that mistake.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like people are gonna know that like, but we all have those really vulnerable moments where we slip up and we don't follow the plan. Like, and it's human, and that's like authentic humans.
You're right, because I feel like a lot of people just, share, including myself. Like, I'll get real vulnerable. I haven't in a while, which is just because, like, I've been on, like, the amount of hours I spend a day working and doing all the things. Like, I don't even think I have time to think so, like, negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll have my times where I hit a fucking wall and I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed. Like, now, right now, if you're watching this, if you're listening, we're in the gym that we built. So I have no excuse to go to a gym. None. I walk down the stairs. I don't know what just happened. Hold on. Oh, we're here.
There we go.
Oh, so anyway, we just thought the podcast just completely hit the fan, but it didn't. But yeah, like, so like we built the gym down here, so like I don't have an excuse, but like I'm with you. Like I'm more so like I'll feel bad if I don't like do my lift. Now, sometimes I'll get, like, I usually go for a step goal of 10,000 steps. I'm not doing anything, like, too intense, but when I tell you the guilt sometimes that I feel when I'm not lifting, and I've been lifting for so fucking long, and, like, I don't actually talk about that, so good point. I'm going to talk about that more, because there was, like, a couple days within the last couple of months that I just, like, had to take the whole day off. Not just a normal rest day, but, like, more than one day. And I know that sounds like people are like, oh, my God, great, you took 2 days. Like, it's not my routine. My routine is I work out 3 days, push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest. That's just my routine, and I've been doing that for so long. And I, like, beat myself up about it if I wanted to. Like I did legs, and I knew I half-assed it yesterday, but my legs were so tired from non-stop training, life, everything. So when I tell you, I know what you're saying. The food, I'll get like that, too. I've also had to work a lot on, like,
for me, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Like, I, for a really long time, was in denial of, my eating habits. I thought, like, I was just too busy to eat, or I just didn't get hungry. But, like, I subconsciously trained my body not to get hungry. Mm-hmm. And, like, I wasn't eating a lot. And
can we talk about this more?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if anyone's triggered, I mean, we're here for it. We talk about eating disorders, we talk about business, we talk about girl shit, and now we're getting into it. All right, so let's hear it.
And, like, I mean, I guess it started, like, prom season in high school. Like, I never worked out in high school. I was super, super artsy-fartsy, way more than now, and could not pay me enough money to get into a gym. And but
really?
I'm telling you.
And how old are you again?
I'm 27 now.
Oh, you're a baby.
Yeah, but back then I had a boyfriend at the time, and so I was very comfortable and a little bigger. But I wanted to, like, obviously look nice at prom, so I started taking laxatives. And, like, chocolate laxatives, and, like, I would just, like, literally, like, just for prom, just to make it there, I would literally be shitting my brains out for, like, weeks before
Can I laugh with you? Because,
yes,
like,
you
if
can.
I had a...
because I was, like, I thought about it, because I was, like, I'm going to bring you into Paula, 18-year-old Paula's mind. I'm like...
Oh, we're getting in there. Right. Plug in.
I'm not going to be able to stick my finger in my throat. Like, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And I really love eating. I can't not eat. All right, I'm just gonna have to shit it out.
Yeah.
So I started taking laxatives, and then.
Oh, so did now about that, because
girl,
I've done it all.
We're here.
We're here for it. So I've done that. Mm-hmm. We'll get it. I mean, I've gone into that. But my question is now: was that something that you learned? Like, where did you see this? Like, what? So, like. A lot of things that we do in life, we learn, we see, like, where did that come about? Like, how did that...
I honestly, like, I was at a point in time where I was just I've always been really stubborn, but, like, at that point in time, I wasn't very public with how I felt about my weight. Like, if you had asked me at 18 years old, like, there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. Like, I was fine and I was happy with how I was. But I didn't like how I looked, and I ran through the options in my head. I'm like, all right, like, I just need to be skinny for these pictures for prom. And, you know, that was my way of doing it. And then me and that boyfriend ended up breaking up, and that's when I started lifting. Like, that's when I got into the gym and started working out, and I loved working out. And then, I don't know, I want to say I just got really sad, and I just didn't like eating anymore. And so I would be lifting like crazy, and I would be eating a lot. I'd be drinking water. I would be eating, you know, regularly if I was out to eat with people or if I was out. But, like, nothing. Like, in my mind, I knew that, like, in some deep, deep, dark part, I knew what I was doing.
But you pushed it all down. You were like, hey, listen.
But I'm fine. I'm just not hungry. I'm just so busy. I work so much that sometimes I just forget to eat. And, you know, like, years and years down the line, you start seeing it. You know, you start getting so tired, and you're just, like, you're cranky and you're moody, and you don't know why, because nothing's really bothering you. And, you know, a different one of my exes, he actually was a nutritionist, and we lived together, and he saw that I wasn't eating a lot, and he saw that I wasn't, you know, taking care of myself, and he would tell me, like, he wouldn't push it on me, but he would, like, explain it nicely, like, hey, did you know that, like, this many carbohydrates is, like, what the normal person's supposed to intake?
So just, like, feeding you a little bit of,
like, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, how much is, like, how many carbs are in this that we're eating? And he's like, oh, I'm glad you asked. Like, so, like, he was kind about it, and that's when I kind of started realizing, you know, why, like, the root of my problems is the fact that, like, I think that starving my body is fixing my problem, and we live so fast that we forget all of the things that we are automatically doing. Like, not just breathing, and not just digesting, and not just repairing and regenerating your cells, and not just growing your hair, and not just, you know, feeding your mind enough, you know, energy source, that way you can see things clearly and hear things clearly and process your thoughts, mind, emotion. Like, all of these things that we take for granted because our bodies are just, it's kind of like your car. You take your car for granted until it starts making a funny noise, and you're like,
a light comes on, an alarm comes on, you've
been doing so good all this time, and then it's like, yeah, Paula, you haven't gotten an oil change.
Fix your car.
How many months? But, like, you know what I'm saying? I know you know, and it's like, when you start appreciating, like, the genuine miracle that life is, that your body allows you to live. I have goosebumps.
I'm just letting everyone know that, because, like, I just recently had, I continuously have this epiphany of, like, life.
Yeah.
And, like, what Paula just, thank you for sharing.
For sure.
I swear, like, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But, like, we do such terrible shit to ourselves on repeat. And we don't even, like, take a step back to appreciate, like, you're here on this earth. Okay, number one. You're breathing. You have yourself. You have someone around you. Family, friends, significant other. And then you just factor in, like, you did terrible things to yourself to achieve something, to suppress an inner pain, something going on, right?
Exactly. It's all inner pain. It's all inner pain. I'm gonna disclaimer, I am the biggest anime lover in the whole wide world.
I don't know, my roommate in college is a huge anime
lover. Oh my god, girl, I'll show you some, like, videos of me crying later. Anyways, no, but the thing I love about anime is it is so much about, you know, these morals and these bigger lessons. And, you know, one thing that I really love is, like, a lot of them have this, like, reoccurring character, this trope of, like, this beaten down, just abused character who, no matter what, keeps the faith and is still happy and is still going through life and is still doing those things. And we all know those people in our lives, those people who genuinely, like, they you know they have shit going on. You know that it's not all flowers and butterflies, but they show up and they're nice to you and they're kind, and they could be bitter and angry.
And they're not.
And it's like, it's the glass half full thing, and it's so hard for, you know, people to say, you know, just think positively, especially, you know, for people who are in very depressed states. Like, it's falling on deaf ears. It's not a quick, you know, switch that flips like that. It's genuinely rewiring your brain to just
change your mindset.
Yeah, to change your mindset to
mindset and muscle. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is why we're here, guys.
It's literally like it's muscle
Change
memory, but your
mindset
for your mind.
Literally.
It's like when you figure out where your glutes are when you do a squat, you never
muscle mind connect. You never forget it.
You never do it wrong.
No.
And same thing with your mind. Once you rewire your mind to look at situations in a certain light, like you don't
literally
you don't go back as easily. I won't say you never go back, but you don't go back as easily because it's like wait, we already did this.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. We're fine right now.
You just yes. Thank you for literally thank you because just bring up the fact that we're here. This is life, and rewiring your brain like. I think everyone needed to hear that. Like, yes, we're all dealing with our shit. Yes, we all have things going on, but like, it's how you deal with it. It's how you treat yourself in the situation. So I preach to my clients, especially my clients in my mindset program, like, treat yourself first, take care of you, focus on you, focus on why you do the things that you do, negative, positive, and then change for the better. When you're a better person and you're happy within yourself, that shit spreads like wildfire.
Yes.
And that's the energy she was talking about. Like, don't be down on yourself. Don't push the negative. Like, literally take a deep breath, change that negativity into something positive. You have to. And I know that's not easy. I mean, people suffer from depression in all types of things, but like, in the long run, like, that's how you change your mindset. You have to rewire your brain, like that muscle mind connection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like, I think the hardest thing about being kind to ourselves is all those people, all those experiences, all those negative tropes in our lives that kind of stick in your mind. I will never forget this. Someone said it to me. They were like, that negative voice in your mind, just treat it like it's some senile old man. You know what I mean? And it's like, if some senile old man came up to me and said, you know what, Paula, I don't think you can paint, I would say, okay, thank you, sir. And I would go.
And you literally would. Exactly. I just pictured that. Like, and I just saw
thank
that.
You, sir.
Yeah,
and I would just walk away and go about my day. And
that's
because that old guy has no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I'm going to do. And
that's right.
That negative voice in your head, like it is, to the curb. It really is just a little voice, and we're big people.
Well, I have a couple questions from all that. How would you explain? So obviously, we share a huge thing with fitness. We both love fitness. So tell me a little bit about that. So you started working out when you were after you were 18. Explain how fitness came into your life.
I felt really bad about my breakup because, I felt really bad about my breakup because he started dating one of my best friends literally a week after.
Shut up.
And
you didn't fight her?
No, I didn't. Whatever. So I was like, you know what? I want to start working out and I want to be strong. So a good friend of mine, Kevin, started bringing me to the gym. And I love that he was the first person that was really teaching me to work out because he has such a healthy way of looking at your body and working out it. And he would tell me, like, don't lift so much for your ego, just do you want to get strong, you don't want to be fake strong, you want to be real strong.
I love that.
And I started getting calluses on my hands. I remember I'd be like, Kevin,
look
at
it,
it's so gross. He goes, no, those are badges of honor. Only people who bust their ass get calluses on their hands. And that was really that conversation was the switch in my mind that was like, well, if I just work as hard as I work at everything else in the gym, I can absolutely transform myself. And I started, and I've never been a cardio girl. I have to force myself to do cardio. I love lifting weights. I love being in the weight room. Like, I'm that one little 5'2" girl in the dumbbell section with all the meatheads. I'm like, that's me. I'm here. But I loved it. It became such a big part of my life. Like, to the point where if I didn't lift, my whole day was just off.
Yeah. Literally. Do you still feel the same?
Not so much anymore that I have the art, because the art takes up a lot of a lot of mental stamina. But my lifts, when I say I lift much more systematically, like strategically.
Yep.
Like I know what I'm supposed to be doing, especially. And by the way, thank you for that leg day workout we did way back ago, because I literally swear by it. I do like half the things we do. The one thing I really slack on are my kettlebell swings, because I never know if I'm doing them right. But
I got you.
I know.
We got a kettlebell.
We'll do it right after. But it was, I don't know, it'll take too long to scroll, but I remember I took a picture. Like I wasn't very much like a showy girl at all, like at this point in time. But I took a picture of like my stomach, and I was like, oh my God, I really like did it. I changed what I look like, and I was so happy. Like I was so over the top, and everyone that I saw noticed it, and it made me feel better, because it wasn't shitting my brains out for 3 weeks to be skinny for prom. It was, I worked really hard for these muscles and this body, and you know, I earned it, and nobody can take it from me.
No one can take that away from you. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
That's
me
awesome.
too. I'm really glad I don't do the laxative thing anymore. That was not fun.
Girl. If I had...
Mom, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mom. Both of us were both sorry.
Yeah.
It happens, you know. I feel like there's certain people, I think you and I are one of them, that have to go through some shit to learn the right way about anything, right? Like, so clearly relationships, and you know what? Like, we've both been through some shit.
And that's another thing I just want to say, that me and Amanda bonded over our impeccable taste for D-bags. Not Maurizio. We love Maurizio more than anything, and like he's the shit, but like that's how we started bonding. She's like, oh my God, I've had my fair share of like assholes, and I'm like,
and you know what, like I was just thinking, I don't know if I was thinking out loud to Maurizio, or sometimes like I just have like I was just saying, like I had an epiphany about like just being so much more appreciative of life than I ever have. Like I'm 31. I think I started appreciating life like a couple years ago, because I just treated myself like shit, mentally, physically, all of the above. And like the other day, I just like I was sitting over here. So like if you're watching this, like right over there, and I was doing work. I actually like do like my computer work in the gym, because like this is the vibe I like.
Yeah.
It's just like, so I just like took a deep breath, and like I was just so happy. Like I'm not perfect, but like I have like what I want right now.
Everything you need right now.
Right now, like I always want more, but like I'm in such a better place than I ever have been in my entire life. And I keep saying that, like I keep preaching that shit. Like if you listen to my last episode, like if I could tell 8-year-old Amanda like everything's gonna be fine, like
trust me, I think about that all the time. If I could go back and tell like my young self, like you, like we talked about it the other day, me and my roommates. I was like, if you could say anything to your
this is literally self, my question.
What would you say? And like, and I would look at her and I would say, don't listen to any of those stupid boys at school that tease you, because you're gonna be so beautiful and so strong, and you are gonna have the most beautiful, badass friends, and in your life is gonna be so fulfilling to the point that sometimes you break down and cry. Like, don't you worry about a single thing. That's what I would say to myself.
I feel like I need to drop your mic for you.
No, literally, because like, oh my
I'm
God.
like, I want to like cry, hug you, high five.
No,
you,
literally, because like I'm telling you, when I was little, like, so let me tell you a little bit. When I was little,
let's hear it.
I immigrated here when I was 8 from Chile. So my English wasn't that great in elementary school, and you can imagine how nice little like 5th grade boys are.
Terrible.
They were so mean to me. Like I would go home crying. I remember one time, it was really mean. It was April Fool's Day. One of the boys, Alex, came up to me with all his friends at recess, and I was all by myself. And he was like, "Hey, Paul, I need to ask you something." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And I was like, "Oh, yes." And then I was gonna run to tell my friend Felicia, because she was my like only friend at the time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta find Felicia." And he goes, "Wait, I have to tell you something else." And I was like, "What?" Like all excited. No. He goes, "April Fools," and all of him and his friends are all dying laughing. You know what I did?
What?
I left the schoolyard and walked home. I left school, and my grandma was like, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in school." I'm like, "I'm never going back there again." And like, oh, it was so...
Oh my God.
They were so mean, but... and like, it's hard when you're like a little girl too, because I don't want to say, because obviously the younger generations are growing up even faster than we were, but like, I remember feeling so accelerated at a young age. Like, everybody was having boyfriends and girlfriends in 5th grade, and I didn't know what that meant other than, stealing quarters off my dad's countertop to buy Alex chips and a soda at the corner store, even though he dissed me all the time. Literally, like, you don't know these things as a little girl. You want people to like you. You want to be accepted. And I remember, like, Christmas that year, my mom put me in a turtleneck, and I hated turtlenecks because they used to make fun of me.
Moms put us in the worst clothes
Literally.
ever. I love you, Mom, for Lacey, but...
I swear.
Like, why'd you
They're
do
like,
that
oh my
to
God, they look so cute. I'm like, I look like a Cabbage Patch doll, but it's cool.
It just doesn't... Turtleneck, no!
Literally, so she put me in a turtleneck, and they used to make fun of me in school for turtlenecks, like, really bad. So I remember she put me in the turtleneck, and she's like, you look so beautiful. And I looked in the mirror, and I burst out into tears, and I hugged her, and I was like, I'm so ugly. Why did I have to be born this ugly? And my mom was just beside herself, like, oh my... Who says you're ugly? Who's telling you these things? You're so beautiful. My mom's very proud of herself. She's like, you're my daughter. How could you think you're ugly?
like, I love her and I don't even know.
No, my mom's awesome. She's wild. But like, I just remember, like, that is what I remember from like those years. But what's great is puberty hit me, and I saw those boys post high school at a game. It was Peabody versus their school, because I went to Peabody High, and they saw me, and they were like, Paula. Literally all of the ones that made fun of me were all hanging out.
Yeah, it comes full circle.
And I look at them and I go, hi, and I walk away. I'm like, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm cute.
See you later.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I would say to 10-year-old me. Very long story short. What would you say to 10-year-old Amanda?
Ooh, 10-year-old? Wow. I usually go for the 8-year-old. Actually, it was 8-year-old in that. To take a deep breath and keep your head up, because I was going through the trenches. I was bullied to the point of just like, honestly, like, still to this day, if I talk about it too much, I tear up.
I feel you. I don't know what it is about those first, like, people really messing with you. Like, I remember...
Can I just share one thing?
Yeah,
I don't even know
please.
if I said this out loud to like very many people, so we're getting into it. I was always chubby. I don't even, like, I genuinely just don't have a small, like, skinny frame. I never will, and that's okay. I've accepted that. But I went through some, like, ups and downs, just like, especially like women, unless you're born like very petite and skinny, which I am not. This girl, Laura, in middle school, fuck you, Laura, by the way, if you're listening.
Yeah, Laura, I'm coming for you.
We're both coming for you. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure you have your own battles. But she came up to me in the lunchroom and she goes, "You're so disgusting, you should kill yourself." Now, mind you, middle school, it's definitely middle school. I want to say I was in 7th or 8th grade. Now, again, already being bullied since I was 8. I just remember like taking my food and just walking to the bathroom and sitting on the ground. And I was just like, wow. Like, I don't even know what that means. I'm like a child. I'm still a child. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I got like so sad and I cried and like I didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't talk to anyone about it. Cruel.
No, literally, like there's
so like I would tell myself to keep my head up because fuck everybody. Like, again, we were talking about, like, I feel like I'm religious, so I'm gonna go with, I believe, God puts the strongest people through the hardest shit because those people can get through it and they're gonna share their story and they're gonna bring people up around them because no one's perfect. Everyone's had a tough life in one way, shape, or form, but like those people that went through some dark times, and that's just like a little blip of a dark time that I went through, like, we're here to share, we're here to say you're not alone, but also like to tell that, like, if you're going through it right now, I mean, I don't know if anyone's listening that's getting bullied, but like, you will get through it. That shit is not easy, but you will get through it.
Yeah, and it's messed up because, like, when you look at the psychology of it, like, obviously people who bully other people, they're going through, they are in pain.
Yeah, Laura, listen, I'm sure you're going through your own things, and I know you didn't even probably know what that meant, but that shit hurt.
Yeah, no, but that is what's so bringing it back to social media, that's what I fear is so toxic about it. We are like, the beautiful thing about social media is we have connections at our fingertips, like millions of people at our disposal at our, like any point in time. But then on the other end of it, like the bullying thing gets like so magnified when you can't escape it when it's your phone. Because everybody's got phones now, and I know that some people are like, oh, well, my kids are never gonna. That's great, but when they do get that phone, everybody has had
keyboard warriors.
Exactly.
We see you.
Yes, everybody has had an instance where their phone has been blown up by an unwanted third party, and you're just like, all right, like it's in my inbox. I can't ignore it. You can't ignore it. You can. You absolutely can. But like, you know what I mean? Like, and trust me, I have. The one thing this year has taught me, it is still teaching me, is patience. And I am not a patient woman by birth. I am a patient woman by practice. Like I am. And if I have ever shown you patience, I need you to go home and you thank God that I was patient that day. Because that's all I'm going to say about that.
People are cool. I had to shut down my Instagram commenting. So if you go back on my Instagram back to when I was competing, and yes, I am competing again. However, I would share my check-in photos, and I was super proud of myself, like, you know, like, whatever. And I remember posting this picture, like, again, I don't sexualize it. Like, it's not about me. Like, sure, could I, like, do this? Like, no, great. Like, I
admire the shit out of that, and I've taken a page out of your book.
Like, I'm just not gonna, like, could I get more followers? Absolutely, but it's not about that. It's about, like, sharing things. Now, I just posted, I was smiling, just, like, a nice photo. I was getting hundreds. I only have 6,000 followers. Hundreds of comments telling me to go eat a cheeseburger, telling me that some guy, I was so upset that this guy was like, he was saying if he had sex with me, he would break me because I was so skinny. And it just kept going and going. It was almost as if like that particular photo was like going viral. And there was nothing crazy about the photo. It was just me standing in my like pretty custom-made bikini. I was like sitting, my mom's like, what's wrong? My mom doesn't know what social media is really. I love you, Ma. I really do. Don't get on it. Just don't. Either my father either. I was like, I have to shut my Instagram off. She goes, what does that mean? I go, I'm getting bullied right now by people telling me I need to go eat something. She's like, well, tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm like, thanks, Paula. Like, it doesn't really work like that, but yeah. No, yeah. So I had to shut my commenting off.
And I don't care. You know what? I'm gonna take back that disclaimer. I don't hate sounding like that. I'm gonna sound like this. I really am sick and tired of the narrative that women's bodies are just open for discussion, because when men post their gym pics, when men post their little vacation pics, it would be that like you going out of your way to write something intrusive, unnecessary in a woman's photo is the same as me going on some guy's page and being like, dump that dick out. Like, you know what I mean? And like that doesn't bother a lot of guys, but like I promise you, like women can be a lot more crueler than you are, but we don't. We go about our day, and I don't know what it is about society, men, social media, I don't even know who to blame, but about some people who think like, oh, they're posting it, so this is free reign for me to say and make you feel however I want to. And it's, honey, like...
Just stop being a keyboard warrior. Like, listen, you can think and feel and be whoever and however you want to be. I'm not knocking you. You don't like how I look. You don't like how Paula looks. We don't care. We might not like you. But at the end of the day, keep your comments to yourself. You don't like us or you don't like what we're doing. Honest to God truth, knock on wood, I hope I don't get berated by like negativity, but like I don't really get it anymore. It was happening a lot. That's why if you go on, like I went recently, last week to New Orleans. I wanted to post a picture of myself in a bikini, and for the first time, I was like, I don't want to attract like energy that's gonna make me feel bad, like negative. Like I love that you say that. Like I don't want anyone to feel compelled to be like, oh, let me throw some flames at you. Like, no, I have a boyfriend, I love him to death, I'm gonna marry him and I'm gonna be with him for the rest of my life. But like I don't need you to see and like comment shit. Like I was feeling myself, that's why I want to do it. I wanted to share that energy.
Exactly.
I don't want to share it because I want you to say something like inappropriate.
And like the problem isn't that you're posting something in a bikini. The problem is that we have this system where people feel obligated, not obligated, but they feel compelled to share every which thought that they have in their mind on these things. And it's like now something that's completely innocent. And honestly, I think we need more of people being proud of themselves and feeling good about themselves.
Especially coming from where we both came from. Like, I was not happy my whole life.
And the energy thing, I feel you. Like, I don't, my Instagram's completely changed. Like, I used to be all about, like, the booty pics. Like, because, like, it would get me attention. But then I realized, like, this isn't really the validation I'm looking for. This isn't, this makes me feel good for about 10 minutes, but then I'm like, all right, y'all gross. Like, stop saying those things. See you later. Literally. And now I'm like, you know what? All of the modeling stuff we do, I'm mostly covered. And now the warmer months are coming on, and I feel the same thing. I'm like, all right, I don't know if I want to do something too revealing because, like, I don't want people to not pay attention to the validity of my art because my body's showing. I don't want it to take away from.
So where do we draw the line?
But that's the thing. Like, I don't want to care about it, but there are implications to not caring about it. Like, I want to just say F it and I'm going to post whatever I want of me, myself, and I and my body. But at the same time, I'm just going to throw one more really crazy thing in the pot. Like, there are really disgusting people out there on the internet, and once your photo's out there, they can do whatever they will with it. And, like, a couple months ago, I found out there was this website circulating around, like,
oh god,
yeah, no, and
it's gonna give me anxiety.
No, and it hasn't been able to get taken down because it works off of this, like, Russian IP address.
What?
So it's outside of the U.S. jurisdiction, and, like, literally for like 6 years, girls from my hometown have been trying to get this thing taken down, and it doesn't. Like, there weren't any pictures of me, but there was a picture from my Instagram, and someone goes, anybody have any of these two, like me and my friend? And
you're lying.
No, literally, it's guys that go on there and they trade pictures of girls, and, like, it's so messed up. And I went to the police. I messaged
I see this on your story recently?
Yeah.
That's
I messaged the FBI. I lost so many followers because so many guys were messaging me, and they're like, oh, that's been around forever. I go, well, shame on you for not saying anything, not telling any of these girls. Like, I just messaged, like, 3 girls telling them that their pictures are on there, and they had no idea, and they've been up for years. And it's like, there's so much to unpack with that one story, but my point is, like, women aren't free to express themselves because not just men, but people abuse us, abuse our privacy, abuse our boundaries, and women are taught to take it. Women are taught to be strong and get through it, and, like, women are stronger than I'm gonna say women are stronger than men emotionally because we handle
1,000%.
because
look at what
every month we handle not only a parade of emotions thrown at us at, you know, nature's every whim, but also there's just so much more that is expected of women in terms of emotional maturity and, you know, social maturity and being able to guide a conversation, being able to host people, being able to conduct yourself in a proper way, as well as a colloquial way where everyone's.
Oh my God! Can I share a story about this?
Please.
Yeah, let's have at it.
It's your show.
I know, but I kind of like listening when you talk. So I'm not gonna throw out whatever. So I used to be in a managerial role within a gym, and if you know me, you know I don't take shit. I don't. If you
oh, you kind of push over.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
But, like, I have like expectations for people, right? Like, I want to, if my job is, well, obviously everyone knows what to do, but, like, I want my job to be done perfect. So if someone tells me to do something, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. And if I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna ask for help. I'm gonna, you know, whatever it may be.
That's that Capricorn rising.
Yeah. Yeah, so she schooled me on some, like, astrology. There we go. I know nothing about it, but we'll get into that. So I'm just, like, assertive, and a lot of people that worked for me, like, didn't like it. I was like, listen, like, this isn't done right. This needs to be done this way. So me being the manager, I gave people feedback, whether they were 20 years older than me, which happened a lot, 10 years younger, whatever the situation is. Just constantly giving people feedback. Like, I'm blunt about it. I'm not going to be derogatory, but I'm just saying, like, you did this wrong. This needs to be fixed. And I'm not going to smile and hug everyone and sit around and sing kumbaya. Like, you did your job poorly, fix it, or I'll find someone that will do it to,
to the standard that it needs to be done at.
Exactly. You know what I was told?
Tell me.
A lot of your employees, you know, and I'm gonna be blunt, they think you're a bitch. Oh, hold on. So I took a step back. Now this is a man telling me, because in this company it was only men that were directors. Mm-hmm. So this man sat across the desk from me and said I was being a bitch and I need to be more friendly. And I looked at him and I laughed. And I said, I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to do a good job and to be the best of whatever role I'm in, and the results show. The results showed sales-wise, operationally, everything. And I said, I think it's funny. I go, would you have the same conversation with, you know, Dave, another manager? And he just looked at me. I'm like, no, because he's authoritative and he, you know, controls the room and he's, you know, a man. Mm-hmm. Now, I never thought in my life I would say this, because like the way I grew up, like I was, you know, be yourself, but don't take shit, whatever that may be. And I've always been that way, you know, in work. I literally was, Dan, I can't stand Dan, that was the director. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. This is also the same guy that said I had to pick bodybuilding or my job, because he said I wasn't doing a good job of balancing.
Well, clearly Dan knows what he's talking about now that you have your own company and, you know, you're completely self-sufficient. And
But what I'm talking about is like, I'm a woman.
No,
and because I was holding
like
my ground and I was telling people how to do their job.
No, it's always like that. But here's the thing. Like
girls aren't allowed to like.
I comfortably say this now. If me being good at my job and me not letting people walk all over me makes me a bitch, then I am the biggest bitch in the room.
Same.
Like that.
No one's gonna take. No.
If that's what that means, then okay. But like, no. There's been too many times where I, you know, I've held my tongue, where I've let people have their way, and like, don't you hate it when you let people do things their way? You know it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
But you let them do it their way just so that they can see that it's not gonna work out. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work out, and they still don't put two and two together that your way was right and their way was wrong. That's the thing.
Why would your way ever be right though?
No, literally. I'm telling you this because it's facts. I'm not for fun. Like,
it honestly, it's like.
But we're women. What do we know? You know, like, what do we know?
We're not allowed to be in control of a situation.
I'm sorry, are you giving me an opinion?
Oh, I'm offended.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not.
Who taught you to read? I'm just kidding.
I think my grandmother, who couldn't really even speak English.
No, I swear.
But like, I'm going to segue into this, but honestly, like, we're women in business and we're rolling with the punches and we're learning as we go. And like, we're touching on so many subjects that like,
as soon as I started this business, I've felt not only way more empowered, but way more confident to tell people when they're wrong or to voice my opinion.
Be you.
Yeah, and it's so liberating to really, like, when you know you're right and you're not scared to tell people that you're right.
It's a weird feeling, right? Like when someone asks me like what I do, and I'm like, I hesitate. I'm like, I'm a trainer. Like, no. I own my own business. I started my business. I train people in person, virtually, online. I just started a podcast. Like, I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
What are you?
I'm a businesswoman, baby.
That's right. Well, I do have an important question. So there's I have 9 questions here that people asked. 1 you already answered. So, what motivates you?
What motivates
I know this is such a cliche question, but if I had $1 for every time someone asked me what motivates me, this is my question for you.
What motivates me the most?
Let's relate that to your business. What motivates you?
2 things. 1, my expensive taste in life, and yeah, I love going out to eat, and I love really nice, I love nice wine, good wine, not the cheap shit I brought you.
Oh my God, would you stop? You know what's funny? You could put 10 glasses of wine in front of me and take it. I wouldn't know the difference.
No, I know, but
it's all it is the thought that matters.
Exactly. So definitely my expensive taste, and then my grandma, not for the reasons you might think, So she went to school, like her growing up was really poor. Like they were very, 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 very poor.
Mm-hmm.
And her father managed to put her through school, like the finest school for like sewing and tailoring and fashion design, because that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a fashion designer.
I see where you get this from.
But that's the thing. I didn't know this until like maybe a year or 2 years ago. Because I asked her, like, she doesn't talk to a lot of people. She's burned a lot of bridges with the family, but like, me and her are cool. So when I started talking to her more, I asked her, like, what did you want to be when you grew up? And she thought I was mocking her. And then she started telling me the story. And so she said that she tried to, you know, with her degree, start doing designs, and like her degree wasn't accepted. And she was, you know, just really upset by the whole thing. And she just gave up. She gave up, didn't go on, like, did not push for her dream, didn't get a job, had her kids, you know, now she lives, I want to say regretfully, I don't think she would choose to live this way if she could do it all over again. And when I see her, like she's cool with me, like sometimes she's mean to me, but like I can take it. But when I see like how unhappy she is because she doesn't have the things she wants, and she doesn't have the relationship she wants with her kids or with her family or whatever. And thank God she only speaks Spanish, so she's not going to be able to hear this. But I don't know. I don't want to, as sad as it sounds, I don't want to end up like her, looking back on things.
I don't think that's sad.
And regretting chasing this dream, because, you know, like, I feel so good when I finish a painting. I feel so good when I finish a shoot. I feel on top of the world, and I'm not like, I'm making money. Like, don't get me wrong, my business is, thank God, you know, flourishing. I'm nowhere near where I want to be at, but like, whether I'm doing it for the money I'm doing it now, or whether I was doing it for $5 million a day, like, I would still be doing the same things, because this genuinely feels like all the energy that I've struggled to place somewhere, it's all going to the right place right now. Like, it just belongs there.
I just felt that energy, like, you're doing what makes you happy. I've literally been preaching this because, like, it took forever for me to get to this point too. And like, being able to wake up every day and you're like, this is my life. I'm doing the things I want to do, and I'm making a living. And it's so like,
because you wake up and you're your own boss, and I'm like, wait, so you mean like, I know I'm supposed to go to the gym right now, but like, if I didn't want to, I could just go to Starbucks and like hang out by the beach and then go start my day, because I don't have to report to anybody but myself.
That's it.
What? And I almost feel like it's too much responsibility, because I'm so like, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, oh God, am I really doing this? But then at the same time, I think back to my days, and I don't know why in my mind I think I don't do as much as I do, but when I look back on my weeks on my planner, it's booked with stuff. Like, I'm always doing something, and like,
it's because you
the 1 hour I'm not doing something, I'm like, okay, all right, like, I could be doing something while I'm watching TV right now. I could be like checking emails or something, or responding to people's DMs.
Wait, you mean like taking a break in the day?
I can't. It freaks me out, because I'm like, I'm gonna miss something. Something.
Literally, like, so one of my clients yesterday asked me, she's like, how many hours a day do you work? And I'm like,
all of them. All of them.
That is so I'm like, I actually had to take a step back. I'm like, so what do you mean? Like, training people? I was like, on average, I have about 7 to 8 people that I train a day, on a good day. Some days are 4, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing all the things. She's like, well, like, in total. And I'm like, all right, so from the time I wake up, which varies, I need to get on a set schedule with that, I'm not gonna lie. Because
I was really good with the 6 a.m. thing for a couple of weeks, but then I was
getting up at 4:45 every day, and I'm gonna go back to it because I thrive. Before the sun comes up, I get so much shit done.
Honestly, and then it hits like 8 a.m. and you're like,
I'm already done with my workout
the whole day?
The whole fucking day. Yep. So I would say like, literally all the hours. Because like, working out is also, like, it is my passion, but it's also part of my job, because if I don't look good, people aren't going to want to train with me, and that's just point blank. Like, we're just going to call it what it is. But like, probably upwards of like 12 hours. Like, if I'm on my phone, I'm working to get clients, working to get better, working to, it feeds the ideas. Like, people are like, why do you listen to podcasts so much? I've been listening to podcasts. Andy Frisella, I don't know if you know him, you would love him. He's no bullshit guy. he owns First Form. I haven't bought their supplements in a while, but like just his attitude, like I listened to his podcast like for past couple of years, and I was always like, oh, I want to do that, but like who's gonna want to do that with me, or like who's gonna want to listen, right? You know, that little fucking
man in your head,
yeah. And then I'm like, whatever. So like I'm always listening to a podcast, like getting ideas. Like while I'm folding laundry, I will listen to a podcast, and I'm like, oh, that's a really good question that girl asked. Like I just like constantly, like everything turns into how can you turn it, flip it, and make it into your business.
No, exactly. Literally every second of the day. Oh my God, the behind the scenes stuff is the most time consuming stuff, because like when you show your stuff on your Instagram, that's literally the sliver of the 1% of the, like, for example, the other day, what was it, Tuesday? Tuesday's a perfect example of like what a typical day looks like for me. So like I woke up.
Yeah, this is my next question, so I'm so happy you're talking. So walk us through the day.
So I woke up, I went to the gym, not as early as I wanted to, but I went to the gym. Mm-hmm. I came home, I did some work on my laptop. I'm starting to do like freelance websites, so I'm learning a lot of like digital stuff, which is kind of cool. Watch out, Maurizio, I'm coming for your job. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. No.
Actually, Maurizio didn't do my website.
Oh.
I have a web developer, Pete. Shout out to you, you're awesome.
Yeah, Pete. Maybe he can show me something. So then, after I finished that stuff, I started doing some actual painting. So I worked on 2 jackets and 1 painting. I want to say like 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe. Mm-hmm. And then I did like my shoot prep. I call it shoot prep, but it's really just me getting ready to leave the house for a shoot. Sometimes I actually give myself time, and I'll give myself like an hour to pick out the outfit, to pick out the makeup, to, you know, get it together. And then other times it's literally like I painted for too long and now I don't have shoot prep time, and I just gotta like get it together. Literally.
I mean, you're doing a great job.
So thank you. Shout out to Bella. My roommate Bella styles me a lot. She's really like fashion forward. I'm like, I'll just take my Crocs and my black leggings, things.
I'm like, yeah, Bella, can you help me?
She'll help. She's so good. So then I got ready for the shoot, and then Bella actually did the shoot with me, so she came with me. We got to the location. The location was at this beach, so we had to go down on the rocks, and we were wearing these like chiffon dresses, the new one. Yeah, this was the newest one. So we climbed down all these rocks. We get onto this like mushy dirt. I'm like, all right, F the shoes. So like pick up the shoes, walk, and I'm like, all right, now no shoes for me, but Bella's wearing high heels. Bella's still coming down the mountain, like the rock mountain, because she's in heels walking down these rocks. I'm like, all right. And so I'm like, checking the time, we're good. Eric gets there, we start shooting. We shoot for about maybe like an hour and a half. And then we had to leave because I had this open mic thing that I started doing. Well, not started doing, I've been doing open mics for a while, but this was the first one in a while. So we left the shoot, went straight to the open mic, performed at the open mic, networked with a couple people, left the open mic, I want to say 11 p.m., got home by 12, made my to-do list for the next day, and then went to bed. That's a day if I'm shooting.
Did anyone else like need like 3 coffees? Because like maybe
I did eat. I ate dinner and lunch.
I saw, so all right, what'd you say?
Open mic. So it's an open mic is, it can be anything really, it depends on who's putting it on, but the open mics that I've gone to are really, I want to say inclusive, because it's not just rapping, it's not just singing. Like I do a lot of slam poetry. There's even this one guy that used to come to the one I used to go to, and he played this like weird wind chime flute. So like you would have one guy like rapping hardcore about being on the streets, and then they'd be like, all right, here's the wind chime flute guy, and he'd be like, ooh. And then you'd have me like
this is wild.
Someone broke up with me. Like so literally the open mics are really fun. If you can get down with like local artists, because some people are phenomenal and some people are still, you know, getting there. So as long as you're not expecting like Mariah Carey in her prime, you will enjoy an open mic, you know.
Where did she go?
She's still making money somewhere off If All I Want for Christmas Is You. That woman is so rich off of that one song. So I'm trying to get back into the poetry more, which is my first love of art. Slam poetry is, imagine a poem taking pre-workout and then screaming itself on the top of like mountaintops.
That sounds very therapeutic. How do you feel after?
So good. Like I stopped getting mad at people and I started writing poems about them. And let me tell you, there is nothing more satisfying than verbally accosting someone with your poetic justice and them being in the room.
Why are you so cool? I want to be cool. Like, I literally couldn't put a poem together to save my life. I'm looking, I'm like,
no, but it's not a poem like you would think, like a book poem. It's honestly more like a monologue. Like slam poetry is more like a monologue. Like, think about something that makes you really angry. Like, ready people who sit on the machines and text and take pictures and then don't let you use the machine. Could you go on and on and on for days about them?
That's why I built the gym.
Exactly. And you could just go on and that's the thing. You got to find the thing you want to talk about, and very easily for me, and I would say you too. You just gotta make it super dramatic, like super.
I mean, I could be dramatic as fuck.
Exactly. So that's it. You could write a slam poem about Maurizio, like Maurizio fixed my computer. He was so great at it, but he made me mad, and now I'm sad. And now I feel bad. And there's times where I feel a tad bit, you know what I mean? And you could just like...
This is my life. I love you, Maurizio, though. I wasn't really irritated with you.
You were just for example.
But that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, just, like, all the things that you do, and I mean...
But that's the thing, like, your brand is, you know, the fitness, the lifestyle, the health, the mental stability. And my brand is the art, and... You have to play to your strengths, and my strengths are all the different things I like to do with art. So that way, like, if people think of slam poetry, and they don't know a lot of slam poets, but they know me, they're like, oh, I know this one girl that does slam poetry. And all of a sudden, my name is in another conversation.
That's it.
Oh, I love your jacket. I know a girl that does jackets like that. All of a sudden, my name is in another conversation. Like, it's just, for me, it's pushing out everything that I've been scared to push out.
So what changed?
It's honestly, I really hate that this is always the fucking catalyst for my life, but boys just break my heart, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go get certified as a trainer. I'm gonna go start a business. I'm gonna start working out, and you'll all see.
But hey, look at you now.
No, literally. I had a really, really, really bad breakup. Same guy, the nutritionist guy. And we were kind of lingering in quarantine. Like, he moved back home to where he's from. And he would still message me, and we would still FaceTime and stuff. But the world was locked down. Like, nothing was going to happen. And he hated, like, social media and shit, like, posting and stuff. And one day, I saw him posting some girl. And I was like... I was, oh my God, I was like upset and angry, and I was just like, I should have seen it coming. So I asked him to, like, please, I was really smug about it. I was like, you clearly look very happy, so please leave me alone to find some happiness for myself. Thank you.
I love how you're, like, nice about it. I, like, all the mean things that just went through my head.
I honestly, like, but the thing is,
good for
like,
you.
The thing is, I don't want to be mean to him, because, like, the more we keep that vicious cycle of hurting each other just to get back at each other, it never breaks. And it's like, to me, you know what? You did your piece. Clearly, you definitely benefited me because...
Because here you are.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, you know what? I need to fill up my time. I need to do something and not think about him. And I just kept painting and painting and painting and painting. And
that was your therapy. You turned your therapy into your passion.
And I'm so glad that I never, ever painted anything of him, because, like, that's... It's like a song you love that you show someone you used to date, and then you can't listen to it anymore. I'm so glad that the painting has been purely for me and not in anyone's honor, name, or, you know, respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad it's strictly been all about me.
I'm just proud of you. I'm like, you turned something, like, I feel like a lot of people... Again, why I gravitate towards you and why I reached out to you to be on this podcast, it's like, you're doing what makes you happy. Yeah, it came from shit. Like, we've all, like, you know, I started doing things during some tough times too, but, like, you're happy. Like, you literally live the life you want to live, and so many people don't. And I, like, my clients every day, I'm like, so why are you doing that? if it doesn't make you happy. They don't.
Because I have to.
No.
Because people are expecting me to. Because I need to. What would happen? And it's all these... Explaining to people that they have the power to design their lives is like explaining to a dog that its tail is attached to it. Like, it just... You know what I...
Tell Frank that.
No, literally, he's not going to understand. He's going to be, what are you talking about, my tail? No, I don't have a tail.
He's going to sit down and stick his tongue out and be like...
But then one day, the dog realizes, oh my God, this tail I keep biting and I keep getting in pain every time I bite it. It's part of me. And when people see the light that they truly can just do whatever they want, it's like, whoa.
It's mind-blowing. Like,
have you ever read Allegory of the Cave?
No.
So Allegory of the Cave, it's this really famous philosophical piece. It's really, really cool.
I feel like I need to like read poetry more, like paint a picture and like
don't worry, I will
talking to you.
I'm like, here for you. You'll help me with my kettlebell swing. I'll help you with the Allegory of the Cave.
Yes.
But it's this piece, it talks about these humans, these like prehistoric humans. Let's say there's like 3 or 4 of them. I'm paraphrasing for any huge, philosophy people. So like, let's say like these are the 3 people, right? Mm-hmm. Can I see your water bottle?
Yeah.
So where's the light right now? Like, where's the light hitting them from? Behind them, right? Like if they're facing over here. So the whole text is about they spend thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of years facing the darkness, inside the darkness, because that's what everybody knows. It's like, what do you mean? We're in this cave. It's the dark. What else are we gonna do? And one day, homeboy decides, this is boring. I'm not gonna keep doing this. I know we've always done this forever, but there's gotta be something else out there. So he flips around and he leaves the cave and he sees the sun and he sees the world and he sees colors and he's like, what? I gotta go back there and tell everybody about this. And it's literally, it's seeing the light for the first time when you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And once you know it, it's so... And you and I get geeked out about this because we know how powerful it is, this manifestation, this law of attraction. Like, my roommates, I swear to God, they think I'm like this crazy witch person, but I'm not. I just have sage and my affirmations written on my wall.
There's literally nothing wrong with that.
No, and like I wrote them out because as much as we like to remind ourselves like the positive things, like just in your mind, it really is important to reinforce it. And I'm a visual person, like is all hell. So I have literally 30 sticky notes taped up with like positive things like, I am strong without having to be. Resilience comes easy to me. I am abundant. Money gravitates towards me effortlessly. I am a successful business owner. My art is always selling at a high value because that is what it is worth. Like all these, and I'm repeating them to you because I ingrain them in my mind and they're so important. It sounds so like, how do I just repeat things and they happen? I don't know. But you do. You just do it and you believe it and it happens.
I wake up every day. I haven't been good about it since I got back from my trip, but I have a notebook that Maurizio got me. It's custom. It says like Release Even.
We really love Maurizio.
We really love Maurizio. Love you. So I literally wake up every day and it's usually the same, but like anything, like I say pretty much the same things. Like, I am a successful business owner. I am a strong woman. I am fearless. I take risks and I succeed. I am a great girlfriend. Because, like sometimes we're not these things, but we need to manifest it. Like, I'm a great girlfriend. I'm a phenomenal dog mom. I'm a phenomenal bunny mom. Like, all these things that like I just keep saying over and over and over and over and over again. Because if you put it out there, it's going to come right back like a boomerang.
And it's literally rewiring your mind. So when that little senile old man comes up and he says, you're a shitty girlfriend, you remember all the times you affirmed, no, I'm a great girlfriend.
That's right.
Shut up, you old man. You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Like,
I love that. No, that's not crazy at all because I write it down. Now you're inspiring me to want to like put it up somewhere so I can see it. Because we forget. We get lost in the hustle and bustle of the day and just like we forget.
In that inner monologue. Like,
that's it.
Think about it. You wake up. Okay, wake up. Gotta brush my teeth. Gotta eat breakfast. Let me check my phone. Do I have any texts? And that's only the first 3 seconds. And your mind is just constantly going. And like, reminding yourself of these, because not everybody grows up that way. Like,
no.
For example, I have a friend whose mom calls her every single day, and her mom is so supportive of her, and you can tell, like, this girl is like her mom's pride and joy.
Aww.
And you know that growing up she was always told, like, you know, you are smart and you're capable and you're this and you're that. Some people don't have that. Some people, you know, they grow up in very negative environments, and they themselves have to find their own light. And how do you do that if you're the only one you count on? You reinforce it, you believe it. Like,
you're preaching to the choir.
I know I am. I'm more so preaching for whoever's listening and doesn't believe us. Like, I swear, just
literally
get yourself some sticky notes, tell
light
yourself you're the shit, and that's it.
What's that quote? It's so fire. It's like, if there's no light at the end of the tunnel, light that shit up for yourself.
Literally.
That's it. Like, I grew up, not like, my family's phenomenal. Like, I love them to death. I talk to them like 12 times a day. I'm that person. Same with Mauricio. I talk to his family all day, right? But like, growing up, I wasn't inundated with positivity, and it wasn't negativity so much. No. It just wasn't like I graduated college, and I will never forget this. I love my father, Papa Felici. If you ever listen to this, you are one of my inspirations. But I will never forget this moment. So I graduated college, got my bachelor's degree, and I'm in the backseat of my car. My father's driving, my mom's in the front seat, my sister's next to me, and my nana. And my father turns around to me. We're on the way to Strager Waterfront in Boston. That's where I wanted. I demanded we go there for my graduation.
Strager's bomb.
Listen. My father goes, so what are you going to do now? And I was like, what? Like, I just graduated. Like, I achieved this goal. And it wasn't easy. Like, I went to school for pre-med. Like, it was fucking tough. And I took a deep breath, and I'm like, and he goes, you better figure it out. You're not going to live at home forever, are you? And I'm like, okay. And, like, I will never forget it. And, like, he wasn't being mean. He wasn't not happy.
He was,
like, what are you going to do?
Genuinely asking you.
Like, my father started his own business, and he's been, like, you know what I mean? And I was just, like, I didn't think about all these things. And, like, I sat back in my seat. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. What do you do with all these things? Like, I just learned. Like, how do I put it into play? But, like, I just remember being like, wow, that's so harsh. But, like, it wasn't. It was just, like, I actually needed to hear that at that moment in time. And it, like, snowballed into me getting a job. And, like, I'm here right now, right? But, like, I didn't grow up, like, great job, this is awesome. Like, no, do better is how I grew up.
Same.
Like, you got a B
for
what reason?
No, not good enough, no.
And some people don't get, like, I wasn't, like...
And it wasn't terrible. It was, like, I think certain people, like, for example, my mom, she grew up in a really, really tough, very strict Spanish household. Mm-hmm. And my stepfather, who raised me most of my life, shout out Corbett, he's the best, he grew up in a predominantly, you know, Jewish American family. They grew up in, was it Everett or was it Chelsea? Because I always mess it up. It's one of those two. But
one of those. All right.
Yes, sorry, Dad.
Close to each other.
But they, you know, my dad was the oldest, and he was always taught to take responsibility for himself, you know, and, like, obviously being the oldest, that's, like, you get extra, you know, criticism, that, like, fun little sprinkle on top.
I'm the baby. I don't even know what you're talking
about. You lucky bitch.
I know, my poor sister. I love you too.
Oh no, I'm the oldest of 4 on my mom's side and the oldest of 3 on my dad's side. So I'm just the oldest. And
this explains a lot.
Yeah, no, and but the thing is, like, with my dad, like you said, your dad's one of your biggest inspirations. My dad Corbett is absolutely one of my biggest inspirations. He did not go to college, and he's working at Harvard University right now. He taught himself everything he knows. He picked up books. He would take classes.
Like, how incredible is that? Does that make you, like, just like that? How did you do that?
Honestly, that is where I got my hustle from. Like, my mom's a really hard worker, but my dad's the type of person that, like, you give him something, if he doesn't, like you said, if he doesn't know how to do it, he's gonna figure out a way to do it. It might take him a little bit, but he's gonna figure out how to do it.
Figure it out.
And that's me too. Like, when I started working in restaurants, I started as a hostess, and I saw the servers making more money, and I'm like, all right, I don't know how to serve, but I know I can figure that out. Mm-hmm. So I found a restaurant that was willing to give me a chance as a server. Mm-hmm. I was, you know, I'm a phenomenal server now, and same thing with bartending.
Because you're great with
saw the bartending for a while, and I was like, you know what, I can figure that out. I can I can count, I can do this, and you know, I'm a good bartender now, and I'm a great bartender. I'm gonna fix that. I'm a great bartender now, and it all
Do you
comes.
see how she changed that, everybody? Or
No, because you have to talk to yourself at your highest level always. But the thing about my dad's hustle that like really translated was, it doesn't matter like where you come from, what you have, who your parents are. It's what you put into it. Like it's really like the hard work that goes behind everything you do. Like I used to write my name sloppy at the top of my papers because I didn't like homework, and he would make me erase it and write it the right way, and he'd be like, this is a representation of you. You're not gonna turn in sloppy work. You're gonna turn in, you know, something good. And you know, it wasn't like he was never kissing my ass like growing up, but like when I needed to hear it, he'd be like, yeah, good, great.
Exactly.
But like the thing about that is like no one teaches you that trick that you have to consciously love yourself.
No.
People think it's like this passive thing where if you just decide that you love yourself and you're good and you just live through life, and then you realize that like you're neglecting yourself in so many small little ways. Like even though life's really fast and we're required to be these like money making machines and produce so much excellence all the time, like life is so fast. We aren't as fast as life, and we aren't going to last as long as these systems in place are. So for the 80, 90, 100 something years that we do have it, I think that it's just about being happy with your decisions, like being okay with what you've done thus far. That like, let's say tomorrow someone said, okay, this is it, we're unplugging you out of the matrix, and that's all you got to play. That was your video game. That's it. Tomorrow, guys. That's it.
Like, are you
honestly
happy with your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I would go into that matrix and I'd be like, yo, guys, you know what I did in my matrix? I was a business owner.
I cannot stand.
No, they'd be like, ah, Paula's drunk again. What's she talking about? Her matrix.
I love that though, but like, you brought up a good point. Like, neither one of us came from like someone like shooting rainbows up our ass is what I'd say, right? And I honestly like, it made me work harder because like when I got a compliment, shit, that was good. Like I did a good job. Like if I won that soccer game or I got the winning goal or I got
Can I ask you a question? First time your dad told you he was proud of you, like for this, did you cry?
I did, because I called him and that's not that he's not proud. He talks about me like all the time. But to me is different. But
say no, when your parents say it to you.
So I called my parents, I told them I did it. I'm a business owner. I signed up. I have my certificate, everything, and they said that they were, both of them at the same time said that they were proud of me, and it just like, I got off the phone and I cried because I worked so hard for just one small, literally.
Same thing with my parents. Let me tell you. Okay, so me and my girlfriends, none of us had boyfriends this year for Valentine's Day. So it was my two roommates and then my friend Valerie. So it wasn't like all my girlfriends, but it was the four of us. And I
just adore your like group. I can't.
I just like to celebrate life, I swear. So we had like a Galentine's Day thing, and my friend Valerie made this huge penis-shaped cake. And it was literally so graphic. Like, homegirl needs to be a baker in another life because it was.
Maybe that's her passion.
I swear. So she's a flight attendant. She's living life. But we call my parents. I call my dad because like whenever there's really, really embarrassing things like that, I just love to call him and put him on the spot. I don't know why. It's like this sick, twisted thing I have. I think I got it from him. I swear.
Probably.
But I like call him and I'm showing him this cake, and they're like, "Wait, we want to talk to you. We want to say something to you." And I'm like, "Oh my god, who died?"
But I hate that.
No, I swear.
Every time I'm serious, I'm like, tell you something. I'm like, who is it? What happened? Who's sick? Like,
I swear. And they're like, no one died. They're like,
they always say,
we've been seeing your pictures on Instagram. These pictures you're taking, like the pictures of the jackets that Eric's been helping me with. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we're so proud of you for following this. We are so proud of you. My dad's like, yeah, like, really, really good job. You look like a real model. I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do. But no matter what, like, the acknowledgement.
What did you...
I hung up the phone and I looked at my friends and I said, I'm gonna go outside and cry for a second because my parents both just said that they were proud of me and I've been waiting 27 years for this. And my roommate Bella was like, okay, we'll all be in here. You take your time. Oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Like, she was in shock too. Because,
Literally.
You know, and I just went outside and I was like, wow. And it felt as good as I thought it was going to. And at the same time, I wasn't satisfied. Because I'm not done. Because I'm not done.
We're not done hearing the good jobs.
Exactly. I'm like, this is as corny. This is just the beginning. Like, literally, this is just the beginning of it. Because I see myself making, like, even if I have to, you know, do something else in the interim to, like, get myself, you know, those expensive things. I like the jackets and the canvases and the art. It's always, I will never not do it now. And I can't imagine with my big mouth and all my jackets and all the places I want to go that it won't make it where it's supposed to go. Like, there's this, like, confidence to it that I'm not worried about it.
You don't have to worry about something. When you take your passion and you turn it into your career, you don't ever have to worry about those things. Like, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have days where you're like, shit, how am I going to pay rent? Like, that's the reality of it. When you literally rely on people for your income, let me tell you, I've been doing that for so long, even like before I started business, because I was a trainer. That shit gets real. It's so literally one of my clients today was like, I don't know how it came up. We were talking about income, but not like too much. Oh, okay, yeah. She was talking about like trainers and like how she had a trainer and X, Y, and Z, and I was like, well, yeah, trainers don't make money unless they train. And she's like, no, and I'm like, no, but really, like, nothing. She goes, that's illegal. I go, I don't, no, I had to reiterate this because she was even baffled by it.
It's like when you explain to people that bartenders don't make money unless you tip them.
Exactly.
Well, no, they get the hourly. Yeah, there's $3 that gets taken out for taxes, baby. It doesn't count.
Like, I told her, I was like, yeah, I went from a full-time salary position to a trainer. So I went from X amount to zero within a bat of an eyelash. And she goes, and I go, yeah, I took the risk that ended up where I am today. But, like, I was telling her, I was like, I'm training you right now, right? This is the only money I'm making right in this moment in time. I go, if I didn't have you, that wouldn't be income. Like, I got real with her. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, I literally went from $0 to having to hustle to build a business that I had. And, like, people don't really get that because most people, like, you can be whatever you want to be in life. If you don't want to be a business owner, you, like, literally you do whatever you want. But when you're a business owner, your pay can go from $0 to $10,000 real quick, and then plummet right the fuck back down to $2. Like,
same thing with commission based. Like,
but it's not, nothing's guaranteed, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's a little bit. I actually didn't want to talk about this. It's super stressful. Like,
no, it is.
Like, we do what we love, and we're gonna do it till the day we die.
And that's why I put up with, like, the stress of the uncertainty.
Because it's the whole, like, we're not guaranteed, like, anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have PTO. I just went to New Orleans for a week and I virtually trained and I didn't have any of my in-person clients, and, like, I took a hit.
No.
Sure, I took a hit.
Yeah.
But, like, I did it for the experience, to get out there, to get my name out there, to talk to people. I didn't talk too much to people, so I got to do better on my next trip. But it's just, like, we don't talk about, like, we literally start from zero.
But the thing is, like, sometimes that's important too, like, those little what's it called, like, unplugging moments. Like, it's funny, as you went away last week, I went away last week too. I went to Brooklyn for this underground show, which was one of the best experiences of my life. But I was like, all right, I'm not going to be working on jackets for 4 days, which means, because the way that I take my payments is a 50% deposit up front, and then the other 50 is paid when it's completed in your hands. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, that means that I'm pushing back. Like, I have 3 projects that are pretty much done. I'm waiting on, you know, my clients to call me back to make sure that I can, you know, put the top coat on, that, like, it's perfect the way they want it. Because once that top coat goes on, it's just, that's it. And I'm sitting there like, oh God, like, should I have brought the jackets with me? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? But at the same time, it's like, those little unplugged, like, couple days to yourself, if you don't have that, it's it's really detrimental because everything starts becoming foggy and half-assed, and as we've expressed very thoroughly, we like to put out excellence, so
Yeah, no half-ass shit around here.
no.
We're consistently getting better. That's
Yeah.
literally.
If you see me and Amanda taking a day off, mind your business because we earned it.
Literally, my clients are like, you don't train on the weekends? I go, there's that. I do all my online coaching check-ins and all that on Sundays, and actually, I guess I'll drop it. So I just added massage therapy to my business. Ooh, I know, I just waited for an hour and 35 minutes to talk about that, but yes, I just added massage therapy. So now you not only can get training through me, you can get massage therapy. It's not me, I'm not the masseuse or the massage therapist. I hired someone essentially, and I'm very excited for this new business venture. That's something I've been working on for a while.
We're gonna talk about this.
She does cupping too.
Okay, no, but I'm so down to try that because I see everyone doing it, and I'm like, all right, well.
You've never gone to massage?
I've gone to massage.
Oh my
absolutely.
God, I thought you were
no,
gonna
cupping. I haven't done.
Oh, cupping's phenomenal. Huge advocate of it. I have had so much pain, especially anyone that has even the slightest bit of anxiety, just a little bit, it's just gonna hold in your muscles. So like, even if you work out,
yeah,
which
happens for sure.
Literally, so cupping.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be right here.
I'm not here right now because they're not here, but I'll be back.
Yeah, it's gonna be right in this general area. So anyone that's watching, this will be turned into a massage area every Sunday.
Lights will be on, or maybe off. Who knows?
It'll be nice and relaxing. So, but yeah, like I don't even know how we just got on that. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to drop that. I haven't talked about that.
That's
I actually haven't made
awesome.
that public to anyone other than my clients. But yeah, like again, back to the whole parent thing. I know I just kind of segued.
We're back.
I told my father, oh, good job.
Literally,
like my hat. I cannot if I get I'm 31 years old. If something good happens to me, business, in general, literally in general. But I'll call my father. My father's like, "What's wrong?" I go, "Nothing." He goes, "What's up?" I go, "Pop, I got another client." I'm 31. I'm just so proud to tell him because he grew up totally different than me, but worked for everything that he had. Not that I don't, but he's so harsh that when he says good job, you're just like,
no,
that's
for sure.
fucking it.
My dad, same thing with my dad. I know that I'm over the top, and he's a serious guy. He's cool.
Yeah, same.
And I'll be like, Dad, oh my God, I just performed for all these people, and they love my poem. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, is it the one about me where you're making me sound like a jerk? And I'm like, no, well, yeah, but I took your name out of it.
He's so proud.
No, but he's like, can't wait to see you when you're rich and famous. And he has never said that to me before. And that, I swear to God, that little, and I know you know what I mean, that one person is enough.
That's it. If you didn't have anyone else saying anything and it was just that.
If it was just my dad, I'd still believe it because he's no BS.
See?
Never.
I'm getting feelsy now. It's getting late. We're getting feelsy. I have a couple more questions. Are you in for it?
I'm here.
She's here. All right. So right now, what are your goals? So short-term, long-term goals.
Short-term goals, business-wise, I definitely want to get a bigger studio space. I'm thinking lots of windows because I really like working outside. So that's, I guess, the first one. I want short-term to come out with more products, with more apparel that's more affordable because the custom stuff's a little expensive. And long-term, I want to have my art in as many countries as possible, whether that's murals, whether that's canvases, whether it's jackets, whether it's products. I want to be performing. I want to advocate, I don't know for who, but I guess anybody who's in pain, anybody who's hurting and doesn't think that they're good enough to do things that they want to do. I want long-term to... I want a Camaro long-term. I want a Camaro. Okay, I guess those are all my goals.
you're gonna achieve all those goals in your
Hell
life,
yeah.
because you tell yourself every day you're going
Exactly.
to, and you're gonna keep pushing. And then once you do get those goals, you're just
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
pick
like,
you up in the Camaro.
yes,
You and Frankie.
please. Oh my god. If you guys don't know who Frankie is, I mean, he has his own Instagram. I don't even know off the top of
He's
my
so
Frankie
cute.
Sinatra.
He's so
Samoyed.
cute.
He's a big bear. But I love those goals. So what are you gonna do when you achieve those goals?
I'm gonna make more rolls.
See that? Most people don't actually, like, in a day make a goal. Like, not even one single goal. They just go through the motions, and here you are. You knew, like, you didn't even hesitate. You're like, all right, so this, then this, and then, okay, then reassess this. I'm like, but most people don't consistently set goals for themselves. And I'm just like,
I think it's scary. Even though goals are like, I look at goals as dares now, like daring myself to do it. Like, you won't. And it's like, yes, I will.
Yeah, but you did.
Literally, oh yes, I will. So think of it as like a dare, not so much as a challenge.
I love that. All right, one of the last questions. I think you already answered this, but who inspires you?
Well, definitely my dad, like I said. My biological dad too. He and I have a really great relationship. He said something really cute the other day. Maybe it was my brother, but Feris is my last name, and F-E is the word faith in Spanish. And he said that to never live without faith, and you can't spell Feris without faith. And it was just like, you know what, you're right. Kelly Brands, she definitely inspires me a lot. She, very similar to you, like her consistency and you inspire the shit out of me to be badass.
Oh my god, stop.
No. I mean, you saw my water bottle, right? I copied you. Like, that is why I got that water bottle. Like, you need to know that.
Cannot.
You are part of the reason why I'm going so ham on my tattoos.
Ooh,
I'm like,
look at us all just tatted as
all
fuck.
tatted.
I gotta finish my sleeve.
And honestly, Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga because she
has a phenomenal voice.
Not even just a phenomenal.
And she's unapologetically herself.
She is. After I watched the documentary.
What's it called?
I forget what.
Is it just like her only documentary, right?
I think so. It's the latest one where she has Million Reasons on it, and she's recording Joanne in the documentary, but she just.
I think I cried watching that. Is that when she was talking about her pain?
Yeah, there was one part of it where she was saying that, like, now that she's 30, she really doesn't give a fuck because she's just so much more comfortable in every part of herself. And I remember watching that and thinking, like, wow, I can't wait till I get to that point. And I'm, like, I would say 80% of the way there. Because when I listen to her, I get so amped up. Like, yes, like, I was, like, that song Born This Way is I swear to God, it's my anthem. Like, it doesn't matter if you love him or capital H-I-M. Like, she's just like,
she speaks.
Show up and be your beautiful self, because that's who you were born to be. And she was born to lead us all into our best selves, all us little monsters. I fucking love Lady Gaga. Bad Bunny, because he makes really, really bumpin' ass music out of really tragic stories. Like, Homeboy's a poet. His music sounds so fun, but when you delve into the lyrics, he's hurting. He's so sad.
You need to send
Bad Bunny. Oh, you would love Bad Bunny. A couple songs for your workout.
Okay,
like,
send them. I'll add that to the list.
But I don't know. I guess it's the people that not I would want to trade spots with for a day, but the people whose lives I admire, like the way they live and the way they breathe. If I'm really gonna say, like, people who really, 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 really inspire me, I'm gonna say my friend Brianna. She's a mom, and she is such a hard worker, and she's such a kind person, and she's got that "don't fuck with me" attitude.
Yes.
And I gravitate towards that. I'm like, damn, this girl looks mean. I like her. No. She never has a bad thing to say about anybody. She never puts people down. She is constantly trying to be better for her son, for herself. And, you know, I met her recently, but she inspires the shit out of me, definitely.
Wow. You have a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When you think about all the things you want in your life, you saw it somewhere first, you know, like.
That's true.
You saw it somewhere first, and to me, I'm like, all right, all of the things that I want to be, where do I get those from? Like, I want to be, you know, I want to be healthy, like Kelly Bands, because I think she's healthy. Like, I see that, you know, she eats, she still does coffee, she still, you know, drinks every once in a while, eats out sometimes, but she keeps herself healthy and active. Lady Gaga is just, she's that bitch. She's herself. She's,
like you said,
unapologetically herself.
Exactly.
Bad Bunny turned his pain into really like really fun music. I'm like, you see me dancing already. I'm not even listening.
I'm waiting for the music that you're gonna send, because we used to send like some heavy metal shit. Yeah, so now like I don't know what's going on. You gotta send me some.
And I don't know. You are just, dude, like, you just exude the energy that I want to exude. The I'm serious and I mean business, and I am badass and I'm strong. And
you already do. Those are your affirmations. You just said them.
I know they're my affirmations, but like meeting you, you know that, and I hope, like, I know people meet me and they're like, "Is she on drugs? Is she okay? She's got like a lot of energy." Like,
never.
Well, thank God you don't think that way.
No.
But yeah, inspirations.
All right, so we're gonna close out this podcast, but is there anything that you want to share before we close it out? Anything you want to say? Leave anything for anyone out there?
Enjoy your journey and appreciate your path.
I actually just got goosebumps. I'm not bullshitting you, because like we don't like take a step back and enjoy the process, and I'm gonna end it with that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paula, for being on this, and I really appreciate you, and I'm so happy I learned so much more about you today. And we're gonna go upstairs and play with Frankie, so check him out on Instagram and see if Mauricio's still up there, because he's our tech guy, so he's gonna figure this out. But thank you everyone for listening to episode 2 of Mindset and Muscles with Amanda, featuring Paula. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you. Yeah. I'm so scared to listen to that.
Oh my God, we just had like the best girl talk, even though we were recording a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous to hear it. Not what we talked about.
No, yeah, you're like, please don't echo.
She laughs.